This is the art
of natural healing. Today we are here at Diversified Health and Wellness Center here in Kirkwood, Missouri, and we are going to demonstrate how to perform hydrotherapy. What is hydrotherapy? Hydrotherapy in its essence means water therapy. It is a technique that has been used for centuries. Essentially what we're doing is raising the body temperature to a higher level and then lowering it back down to a lower level. Hydrotherapy has many benefits. One of the benefits is basically helping to reduce inflammation, but then also induce a parasympathetic response within the body. How do we do that? So essentially the hot towel will help the blood vessels dilate, bringing in blood to the area, whereas the cold towel will help the blood vessels constrict. This essentially creates a more pumping motion within the body to bring fresh blood that is pure of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties to essentially reduce inflammation load within the body. We know that in our current society, we're all so stressed out and in this sympathetic kind of dominant state where we're kind of like fight or flight on the go. So this is one technique you can do to help induce a more parasympathetic or relaxed state where your body's able to kind of just chill out or relax. Who is hydrotherapy not for? So, number one, pregnant women. Number two, anyone that has cancer or tumors. And then also number three, anyone that has any open wounds or ulceration of the skin. You also want to vary the type of temperatures and the also duration of treatment depending on the constitution of somebody. So if someone is an older person that's a little more weak or frail, or a younger person that's weak and frail, you don't want to apply the same temperatures, and you may need to vary the temperatures of your towels. So today we're going to demonstrate something called constitutional, or like a classical type of hydrotherapy. There are many different genres and ways you can apply cold and hot temperatures to the body. So in this constitutional hydrotherapy, typically what you see is the subject is laid on a table or a flat surface, and they have a typical white sheet that's kind of wrapped around them as like the basic. And then on top of that, you will have typically one or two heavier wool blankets that you're going to use to cover them once you apply the different towels. So 2 heavier wool blankets and then a sheet underneath, and then your towels that you're going to need for the whole process. And what this ensures is that the temperature is conducted in a proper manner, and that temperature or body heat is not allowed to escape through different parts of the blanket. So here we have our towels. You'll need approximately maybe 5 to 6 towels in total. So you want to create different layers on the skin surfaces. So we have our hot towels here. You can heat your towels up many ways. So you can soak them in water, use a crock pot, put them in a crock pot, let that get hot, or you can microwave them, or you can use a towel warmer. But the cheaper ways would be like a microwave or like a crock pot that you can sit them in and let them get warm. So first thing you want to do is check with the patient to see if the temperature is okay, if it's too hot, or if it's just the right amount of heat that they can tolerate. And then after you check the temperature, what you're going to do is go ahead and open the sheet just to about the hip bones, and the towel is going to be applied from the collarbones to the hip bones typically. And you want to create different layers, so ideally about 4 layers of heat. And after you apply the first towel, you can apply the second towel. Now if the towel is too hot, you can just kind of wave it out a little bit to get some of the heat out, and then you apply that one right over the first towel. And you go ahead and wrap the sheets to cover the person, and then you'll cover with the wool blankets. And if you have 2 wool blankets, you'd have to do another covering on top. And sometimes you can wrap the person as like a burrito in the entire blanket, but you can also just cover them with the blanket as well. So that's the hot portion. 5 minutes this stays on. So we finished the 5 minutes. We're going to show you how to remove the hot towels and apply the new set of towels. So what you want to do, you don't want to just take the towels off. What you're actually going to do is replace the towel that you have currently on the chest and abdomen with the neutral towel, but you're going to put the neutral towel on top of your current towels. So that in this technique, you're going to just flip it so the body is never really without a towel for a few seconds. And then while you're leaving that towel on, you're going to prep your cold towel. So you don't need to really wrap the person back up. And then the cold towel is going to be soaked in cold water, and typically with ice, just to get it really cold. And the point of this is to facilitate the body's, we call it the vis in naturopathic medicine, the healing power, or the qi, as it's called in traditional Chinese medicine. You want to stimulate the body's healing power, and it will warm up the cold towel. Another flip. There we go. And then you're gonna wrap the person back up. And this is a 10-minute. And one of the ways you can tell that this process is going good is if the cold towel is now warm. So if the cold towel is still cold at the end of the 10 minutes, you want to let them sit more with the cold towel. So this will be 10 minutes. So we finished the 10-minute cold, and the first thing you want to do is actually check the temperature to see if the towel has warmed up. If the towel's not warm, you're going to leave it on a little bit longer and wrap them up. So if the towel is warm, you can go ahead and proceed to your next step. And the next step, the patient will be flipping over and you'll be redoing the entire procedure on the back. So now we've completed the front portion of hydrotherapy, and we'll move on to the second portion, which is the back. So you'll have your client flip over, and then you're going to do the exact same thing where you're applying the 2 hot towels, creating multiple layers for 5 minutes. And same thing with the front, you want to ask them if the temperature is okay. So you'll just kind of lightly dust the towel on their shoulder and ask them if it's okay. Is this okay? Okay, the towel's okay, and so you go ahead and apply it to the back. And as you can see, we're creating 4 different layers, so 4 layers of heat by folding the towels. And you can do the same thing on the front as well. And you'll go ahead and wrap them back up for 5 minutes. Something else you can do is apply essential oils to the hot towels like peppermint or rosemary to help with a more stimulating effect or a more muscle relaxing effect. Now we're on to the second portion of our back portion of hydrotherapy. So what you're going to do is exactly the same as the front. You're going to flip the towels, but you're going to use a neutral towel, which has no hot, no cold, just a plain towel. And you'll place the neutral towel over the hot towels and then flip them, and this way the body's not exposed to the air for more than a couple of seconds. And as the neutral towel is there, you're going to go ahead and wring out that cold towel. And do the same type of flip where you place the cold towel on top of the neutral and flip it over. And during the cold towel, you can also place some sine wave, E-stem on the lower back to help with extra added stimulation during the hydrotherapy procedure. And there are a few people that should not use E-stem. So that's anyone with cancer, anyone with the irritable bowel disease such as Crohn's or colitis, as well as over open wounds, and then anyone that has any level or type of electronic device in their body, including a pacemaker, etc.